Alright, so I'm going to go on record here again, and we're going to talk about headlights tonight. Well, headlights, blinkers, all that stuff in general, okay? On 99% of the cars that come out, this is your high beam, this is your low beam, the inner one's your high beam, and this is your parking light, okay? Same thing on this side. Low beam, high beam, parking light, okay? Now, on some of the cars that don't have projector lights for the low beam, you're going to see a little cup in there that kind of covers the bulb. You'll notice that this bulb for the high beam is actually, it's a naked bulb. There's no paint or nothing on the tip, whereas the low beams are a little different. Alright. In here is this magical little thing called a dashboard. And this dashboard, let me turn the air down so it doesn't interfere with the video. The dashboard has certain controls on it, okay? This little magic device right here, okay? You don't even have to take your hand off the steering wheel to use it. It's called a turn signal arm, okay? It has multiple functions. A lot of the times it controls your lights and your turn signals. On some cars, your headlight controls are actually down here, like my wife's Dodge Dart. Okay, this thing right here. It's not like you've got to unlock a box, put in a thumbprint, retinal scan, and a secret squirrel code from over here to use your turn signals. Look, left, blinky, blinky, right, blinky, blinky. Some fool down here in Nashville a couple of years ago had the nerve to try to tell me that Nashville is a no turn signal state. Let me tell you, if you think turn signals are not required to be used, you're a freaking idiot. Every single state, everywhere in the entire United States of America, it is required by law. In fact, I think almost every country, period. It is required by law to use your turn signals to change lanes and to turn, okay? Both of them. They're there for a reason. Don't be stupid. Don't be a Darwin Award winner, all right? When you're changing lanes, you should have a minimum of 3 blinks before you start to merge over. And remember, because you've got your blinker on, okay, you are asking permission to merge into that lane. Whoever is in that lane has the right of way, period. Even if they're a jerk and don't let you in. It's on you on there. They don't have to yield to you at all. It's nice, it's courteous, it's great. I love it when people use blinkers. I'll let them turn in front of me, but I'll tell you what, if you're merging, it's on you, okay? Use your blinker a minimum of 3 times, and then you politely, if you can, merge over to that lane. If you can't, well, I guess you've got to go around the block to make that turn, you know. Piss poor planning on your behalf does not constitute an emergency on mine, and that's the way it is. You need to plan ahead for your turns and the lane changes and where you need to be. That's it, period. People forget, and I'm going to say this in almost every video I've got, driving is a privilege, not a right, okay? Point 2. The high beams in that I talked about earlier. You see that bright blue? I can't get the phone in close enough to it. I'm going to turn it sideways for a second. That bright blue light right there on the dash, okay? It's a little cone-shaped thing with a couple of dashes on it. My phone is not cooperating as far as zooming and all that stuff goes. So, high beams. Some cars have automatic high beams, and that's great. It's a nice feature. When you are coming up behind somebody on the road, or when somebody is coming towards you on the highway or whatnot, when you're within like 200 yards of somebody, you should turn them off, okay? In fact, this is a very good spot where I chose to stop. Right about where those trees are in the distance is a good spot. If you don't have your lights dimmed down to dim by then, you're a runner and two boys having sex in a church choir. Okay? Also, headlights. Having headlights burn out. It is your responsibility as an owner of a vehicle. If you weren't prepared to pay for a light bulb, which generally is $20, even if you go to Amazon and you gotta wait a couple of days to get it. If you're not prepared to do something simple as fix your lights, you shouldn't have a car. You shouldn't have a vehicle, okay? The headlight lenses on the car, you saw how mine were nice and clear. You notice how a lot of people's are really fogged out bad, okay? When your headlights are nice and clear, your beams are focused like, your low beams are focused in a certain way. When those lights get all fogged out and stuff like that, that diffuses the light and it makes the light do like this, and it goes up in everybody's faces. And by turning on your high beams, because your low beam, your lenses are jacked up, that is not an acceptable answer for how to drive a vehicle. It is not helpful. All you're doing is blinding other drivers. In fact, when your headlight lenses are that fogged out, it not only diffuses the focus of the beam from the way the manufacturer intended from this to this, it also reduces the amount of light coming out of your headlights by like 20 to 25%. Those little wipe kits like Wipe New and those little toothpaste tricks, they're like a 10% fix, sort of fix for a little while, but they really are worthless. You either need to go to somebody that can use the kit to properly polish them. Basically, they sand off a layer and then repolish the plastic to clear. Or you go to Amazon or eBay or something like that, and you find yourself another set of headlights and have them put in and adjusted properly. Period. I had a lady a month or so ago up where we live, up in Clarksville, and I says, you know why you had your high beams on, right? She goes, oh well, but I have a problem seeing at night. Well, then you've got two options. You either do like I did, and you invest in an HID kit for your low beams, which focuses your low beams proper. It may be brighter, but it's properly focused so that there's a line and it's not up in people's faces, okay? Or you don't drive. You have two choices. You either fix your headlights proper or you don't drive, period. There's no gray area in it at all. Operation of the high beams. There's only 3 ways to operate your high beams, okay? If you've got a classic, down on the bottom left kick panel, there's a push button switch down there for the old school vehicles. You press on it with your foot and it clicks. On some vehicles, you pull them towards you and you'll hear it click. You'll see the light go on. You'll hear it click. Now mine has the momentary switch if I pull it towards me and it comes on. If I want my high beams to stay on, let me get it so you can see my hand, I lock it forward one. You hear it click. Okay, it locks forward. Now my high beams are off. On, off, on, off. It's pretty simple. Either pull it towards you, or, well, you just pretty much pull it towards you to turn them off, one way or the other. It's pretty simple like that. If you can't operate your car, maybe you shouldn't be driving. And that's it for that part for today.